Hello everybody, it's Glass Half Dead here, and today I want to talk about the effects of Outriders and Necron reanimators on Kill Team, what that might be. For those of you unaware, somehow missed it, a few days ago Warhammer community released an article saying that every single model in the Indomitus box is going to get rules for Kill Team. That's interesting, because it includes Outriders, which are bikes, which, if true, would mean we are getting our first ever vehicles in Kill Team, specifically the Outrider squad and the Canoptic Reanimator. These are very interesting if true, because it opens up a lot of possibilities for us. Canoptic Reanimators. This is interesting. I should edit this to put this at the start, because this is a much more interesting conversation than anything I've just said. So, Canoptic Reanimators are 80 points. So they are within the realm of possibilities of being run in a 100-point kill team. You could see one Canoptic Reanimator on the board. Okay, you could have this bad boy just doing whatever he does. This is a huge base. Let me put him next to... There you go. There you go. Got ourselves a little Craft World Eldar guy here. Next to the Canoptic Reanimator. Okay. Should this be in Kill Team? That's the question. Yes. Okay, and let me tell you for why. The reason I'm okay with this being in Kill Team, right, is because, and I'm going full fan fiction here, guys. I don't know if any of what I'm about to say is true, but let me tell you, okay? We know now that the Pariah Nexus is going to be an expansion for the current version of Kill Team. We know we're not getting Kill Team 2.0. But we don't really know how thick this book's going to be, what's going to be in there. We know we're getting the Indomitus stuff, right? So we're getting everything in the Indomitus box, and that might be everything we get. Or we might get more. That might just be the minimum. The reason I think we should get the Canoptic Reanimator is because it will be GW codifying narrative and boss battles. There you go. That's what I want to see. Look, you can take any model from 40k and say, okay, this is a boss battle now, right? I'm not going to grab another one. You get the point. I have too many models behind me. Okay, but okay. So in Warcry, you could they actually have the rules to do like boss battles. They have really big models that should not be played in regular matches, but you can play in your narrative games. And they have rules, and they can be thrown in as a single model in your army. And they have done this for Kill Team as well. But they've only released it in White Dwarf issues because it just wasn't a thing for Kill Team. With Kill Team, they just completely skipped the narrative aspect of Kill Team. We know the campaign rules suck, etc., etc. Well, I think that because we know in 40k the Pariah Nexus is all about where the Crusade aspect of 40k 9th happens, and we're getting Kill Team Pariah, we're getting a narrative expansion. Yes, we're going to get more models like the Outriders and the Eradicators that could fundamentally change competitive play, but they could also give us narrative. They could give us boss battles. They could give us, very similar to what they did with Warcry, where we actually get mission structures, where we bounce around and then we have narrative boss battles at the end of our campaigns. And the Canoptic Reanimator is perfect for that. It's bigger and more epic than a simple commander, you know, standing off against a single commander. But it's still within the scale where a 100-point team could go up against this and possibly win. You know, as a big final boss battle, yes, you'll lose most of your models, but you just pull out victory at the last second. And I think the Canoptic Reanimator is a perfect model for this. And I really hope that GW gives us kind of one big model for everything, for every faction. This is what I want. Canoptic Reanimator is a good one. I think in general they should probably be over 100 points. Just because obviously 100 points is the size you'll be playing, up to 200 points. So, you know, for Necrons could get the Canoptic Reanimator, or Eldar could get a Wraith Lord, Marines can get a Dreadnought, Imperial Guard can get a Sentinel, or a Hellhound, or something like that, you know. And then it will have an extra word, similar to how commanders all have the commanders keyword. These can all have a narrative or boss or whatever keyword, and it means it can only be used outside of competitive play, essentially. And then boom, we have ourselves what can be a really good narrative expansion for Kill Team, based off of Warcry. Let's be honest, GW's, I doubt they're going to do anything particularly revolutionary when they already kind of did that with Warcry. Well, revolutionary, you get me, revolutionary for GW. I mean, I've said this before in videos, but I think that Kill Team Pariah Nexus should be a narrative expansion, just because of everything in the name and stuff. And the Canoptic Reanimator fits into that perfectly. And now, because I would have chopped this up and said this at the beginning, because this is much more interesting than anything I've said, enjoy whatever it was I said at the beginning, where I didn't really know what I was talking about, and I was just waffling about Outriders, and then eventually Necron Scarabs. I'm not going to talk about all of these, because the Assault Intercessors coming in is fine, that's not a big deal. The Blade Guard Veterans coming in, you're not going to take a Terminator if you could take these, so it does invalidate previous things, but that is actually GW's design philosophy with Primaris. You will take Primaris instead of a Firstborn, so it makes sense that you would take these over Terminators. That sucks for people that like Terminators, but whatever, okay. Eradicators are very interesting, and I will talk about them. Outriders, obviously, strange. Judicard, that will be a commander, not a big deal. Scarab Swarms, interesting, and that's it. So let's quickly talk about an Outrider squad. This, to me, is very interesting. The stats are on screen. Feel free to take a read. It's not that crazy, and let me tell you why. Why bringing bikes to Kill Team isn't the worst thing GW could do. Oh, also, if you're a subscriber, I'd like to say a double hello to you, sir. That noise that just went off is the proof of your receipt. That's your receipt for the double hello. If you want a double hello in the next video, and of course you do, subscribe now, and you will get that. And that's a thing. The other proviso I want to give is that, as we all know, Warhammer community is very spotty with its rules. We know they said every single model in Indomitus is going to get rules for Kill Team, but they could be wrong. They've been wrong before. Even in the article itself, they said superior inheritance is a new tactic, and it's not at all. Didn't even change the wording. So, whatever. Let's just for now pretend that they're telling the truth. Okay? Let's talk about Outriders. Now, the reason I don't think Outriders as a concept break Kill Team is because they're 50 points. In Kill Team, we struggle to get a Terminator into a list, right? Because that's too many points to then go ahead and make a successful Kill Team. Yes, the stat line for this Outrider is very strong. A 14-inch move is crazy and will be the fastest thing in Kill Team. The previous fastest thing being a jump pack for Adeptus Astartes at 12 inches. And then that would make that model, I think it's like 22 to 25 points. And people weren't taking it because it was too fragile. But if you over double the number of points on that model to 50 points per model, does that make it viable? Well, no, obviously, but giving it then 4 wounds maybe does. And the twin bolt rifle certainly doesn't help. I mean, this would be a strong model, but in a 100-point list, you could take 1 Outrider, well, 2 Outriders if you wanted, but 1 Outrider and then 4 Marines. I'm okay with that list. That list wouldn't win much. It might win occasionally, but once you've removed the Outrider, which you can do relatively easily, I mean, you know, one melter shot, it's gone. Once you've removed an Outrider, the list has nothing to it. So I don't think putting an Outrider into Kill Team breaks Kill Team. I know a lot of people are going to be against it purely because it is on a vehicle model, but yeah, that's fine. Now, let's have a quick word about the Eradicator. I want to talk about the Eradicator as well because this seems... Okay, so Warhammer community might be lying, and if so, an Outrider and the Canoptech Reanimator isn't getting into Kill Team. An Eradicator almost certainly is. I can't see why it wouldn't. It's a regular infantry model. Firstly, it's 45 points, so again, we're comparing this to a Terminator. It does have more wounds, but it doesn't have the 2-up, and I'm going to have to assume that it's... So in 40k, a lot of people know that the Eradicator is very scary because it can fire twice. In Kill Team, I assume that its fire twice ability is going to become a tactic, so you'll have to spend a CP, maybe 2 CP to do that. And then you're looking at, again, an Eradicator is 45 points. That's basically an Outrider. That's half your list right there. But what can an Eradicator really do? Kill 2 models a turn, assuming that it can fire twice for, what, 1, 2 CP? But then you're only hitting on 3s. You'll probably be obscure, so you're hitting on 4s. You can kill a model a turn, reliably, basically, with an Eradicator. 3 wounds... I mean, it's not game-breaking. The thing with all of these models is, as long as you price it correctly, it's fine to do that. Like, having a 45-point Eradicator doesn't break the game. As long as things are pointed correctly, you can put anything into Kill Team, and it will be balanced. You know, I mean, in Commanders, nobody plays the 130-point Commanders because it's just too much, kind of thing. Like, are they really good models? Yes, but they're too expensive. You could do exactly the same for Eradicators and Outriders. Just make the points right, and it's okay to have them there. And thematically, in previous editions, Kill Team, before it was called Kill Team, has had vehicles in it. So I don't think having a bike breaks Kill Team. It's fine, in my opinion. Let's talk about Canoptech Reanimators and Scarab Swarms. Scarab Swarms first. So Scarab Swarms could happily be added to Kill Team, and again, do not break Kill Team. So we haven't had any sort of swarm model in Kill Team yet. If Scarabs come over at 15 points, 4 wounds, that's interesting. However, not needed. Yes, 4 wounds are good, but you've got a 6-up save, so if you're hit, you're basically done. So you just have to tap it 4 times. It is still very strong, and you would see Scarab Swarms on the board. The alternative, of course, would be a flayed one to just sit back and hold a point. If you actually run the numbers, a 10-point flayed one, yes, 10 points is the cheapest, but 15 points to get 4 wounds, even though you're swapping it for a 6-up save, is fine, especially when you see that it has a 10-inch move, because you could use them offensively and defensively, so that you would definitely see Scarab Swarms on the board. But I don't think they break the game. I think we're okay. You could put Scarab Swarms in. I've said for a long time, back when, you know, like when Elites first released, Scarabs probably would have been very useful for Necrons. Of course, now we know Necrons don't need any help. They're a very strong team, possibly the top team. But Scarab Swarms could be added, and they would not break Kill Team. They wouldn't make Necrons particularly any more powerful than they are now. They would make them be able to be run in different ways, but they wouldn't be more powerful, I'd say. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've enjoyed my little rant here. What do you think? What do you think we're getting? I love the fan fiction I just wrote about the Canoptech Reanimator being a boss battle and how every faction is going to get their own boss battle to play as or against in narrative games. Yes, we can do that ourselves very easily, as GW is about to show us, because they're literally going to copy-paste Canoptech Reanimator and its data sheet over to Kill Team. So, you know, we can do that. We don't need to know how to do that. We can already see how to do it. but GW needs to codify it and say, yes, this can be done, for the community to really accept it. Anyway, boss battles sound super fun. That's what I want Kill Team Pariah Nexus to be. What do you want? Or do you think I'm just wrong and having a Canoptic Reanimator is pointless, and you're only looking at it from a competitive perspective, using a Canoptic Reanimator in a 100-point list, so your only list is a Canoptic Reanimator and 2 Flayed Ones, and you think that's pointless, so you're not going to even look at Pariah Nexus, you know? Or you're a Marine guy and you really want to run 2 Outriders. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know what's what, and if you've made it this far, my beautiful 8%, thank you very much. Your support really helps. And here comes a triple hello. And yes, that was your noise receipt. Hope you've had a good one, guys. Let me know what you think. And what's the thing I say at the end of these videos? Mine's blank. It's too early for me. Gosh. I hope you've had a good day, and I hope you continue to have a good day. Goodbye.